Hey folks, Eric the Old Jarhead here. Thanks for watching and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to get into this black locust log here. It was pretty, well, you know, it was a rough log. And, you know, we got it up on the mill and you can see that deep furrowed bark. You always got to watch that. A lot of dirt and rocks can get into that. But we're going to see what we can do with this log. And we're just milling up some 1x6 flooring for this customer. And this log, you know, you can see it had a big branch coming off of it. So I decided to just cut that down into cookies for woodworking projects, that kind of thing. And we'll take it down to the final opening face once we get that branch cut off and get the cookies cut out of that. And you know, I'm using wood-mizer 747s. Boy, these bands move a lot of sawdust. And I don't know if it was because it was black locust or it's the bands themselves, but clearly these bands really move a lot of sawdust. And you can see that with the wind blowing the way it was, you know, I had to put a face sock on just to try and cut down some of the sawdust I was eating all day long. But we got into this log, and standard issue, open up the face, get it opened up, and then we'll get it rolled. The one thing about logs like this one, they're deeply furrowed, they got some branches in, it's pretty old, and it had some rot in it. So the first thing, of course, after I got into that open face, I must have hit some dirt and rocks or something in one of the holes that was rotted out. You know, that can happen, whether it's rats or something, you know, building nests or just being dragged around on the ground. Holes in logs can build up dirt and rocks and things, and that can cause a problem. So, you know, once we got into that open face, we ran into something and it dulled the band. And of course the band may have already been at near the end of its life anyway. I do find that 747s can run over 500 board feet of band in softwoods, but on hard stuff, you know, they're going to dull a little faster. So we get the band changed out, get everything tightened up, get it ready to go, and then we'll get back at it. So we got one more cut out of this log and then started to roll it, and you can already see there's a big hole right there, and look at the amount of sawdust that's coming off of that log. These 747s move a lot of sawdust, but there's still a lot left on the log afterwards, and you know, that's okay. We'll roll it around, it'll get knocked off. Now that hole right there on the left side of that log is going to come into play here in a little bit. Once we get it rolled up to the side support so we can make a nice perpendicular cut, away we go, right? Fire up the saw and head on down the log. And as you can see, my broken umbrella is still working. It's keeping me shaded right now, and I'll tell you, I'm going to have to replace that umbrella. I think if you watched the video before this one with the little guy running the mill, that umbrella got really knocked sideways by the wind. Oh, look at all that sawdust. Isn't that crazy? That log had some, well, let's just say shape to it. So, you know, a log like that can still produce some decent lumber, and so you just got to get into it, get into that opening, get into some good wood, build a cant, and start milling it down. But you always got to watch, you know, you can feel a lot of weighing on it there, and we cleaned it off as best we could, kept trying to keep it clean, keep the band life running longer. up again, and you can see another hole. And again, look at all that sawdust. Isn't that crazy? That sawdust, it amazes me sometimes just how much sawdust I make. As we cut down, we got to a point where we've got punk in the middle of the log, punk on the end of the log, and as we opened it up, we got deeper into it, we started seeing even more punk. And for those that aren't used to that phrase, punk means rot. So we're just kind of looking at it now going, well, I don't know. Can I make a cant out of this? Can I get a 6x out of it and avoid all that punk? And I thought, well, maybe we roll that down to the bottom. And of course, then you see that other open face there. And the customer was looking at it and started thinking, you know, I don't know, is this one going to have anything in it? And even right here, I got it rolled again, and you see another hole through the log. And so we started measuring it, thinking, well, what if we could come down below that? What would it leave us underneath it? And that was kind of the challenge, you know, and he points out, but you've got the rod on that side. So we sort of looked at it and said, you know, it's not worth it. And sometimes you just got to learn when to cut bait. And this is one of those cases where, despite getting down to some good wood, it was clear that it would probably be better to just go ahead and turn this one into firewood. You want to come in over here? That's just something you run into sometimes when you're milling old logs. Sometimes there's just not enough good wood in it for the customer to make it worthwhile to mill it down. So there you go, folks. That one wasn't any good, so we're going to take it off, turn it into firewood. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate every one of you. Y'all have a great day. More videos coming out. And I'll drop a link at the end of this video so you can go check out when that little guy was running the mill. It was really cool. Y'all have a great day. The Old Jarhead out.